The role of the sales representatives at Landsberg don't change at a food customer. There's just something added to it, which is a team sale. So what's a team sale? Team sale is a sale that goes beyond managing the relationship with one contact at the customer. It involves multiple relationships. These relationships include internal relationship, and a key relationship that this involves is the product manager, who brings technical expertise, for instance, to that technical sale. A second part of these added relationships are multiple contacts, like Ken said earlier in the training, dealing with multiple contacts at one customer in order to close the deal. Other example of a team sale involves other companies such as contract manufacturers or retailers, for instance. This is the coordination of this team that's required in order to make a food sale, and that's the only difference with an industrial sale. So just to clarify, what is the product manager supposed to do compared to what you sales representatives are supposed to do? This is a guideline that's supposed to help clarify everybody's role. By no means this is prescriptive. There are several conditions and situations where you are going to modify every task. Let's take an example. You've never done a sale with a product manager. Well, the product manager might take the lead a few more times than you would expect compared to the guideline we're going to discuss now. And vice versa. If you're going to be experienced as a sales representative and the product manager is less experienced, you're probably going to take the lead with that food sale. Now let's review this list of tasks. The project management typically would be in the hand of the sales representative. You would follow up with your product manager, for instance, a couple of days before meeting a deadline, or making sure that the customer is aligned with what everybody else on the team, including the product manager, with what everybody is doing. So communicating with every member of the team, making sure everybody is going after the same deadline and the same deliverables is part of the role of the sales representative. Another aspect is building credibility at the customer for first contact, for instance, over equipment or primary packaging. Securing a meeting with the product manager is another aspect, with having a clear agenda and expectations for the meeting. Not complicated, but for the product manager to be able to anticipate what's going to happen during that first meeting with the product manager. Then the product manager is going to pick up with identifying the needs of the customer and selecting vendors and preparing a proposal. Then the product manager is going to prepare a proposal and submit and review it with you. At that time, you're going to agree on a markup with the product manager. After that, a second meeting with the customer is going to take place where the product manager is going to present the technical details of his proposal to your customer. It is then your responsibility to close the deal. Finally, the post-sale support is in your hands, sales representatives, with obviously support from the product manager. I hope this helps.
We've learned some great information today, from Ken talking about the true role of a sales representative and product manager in the selling process to food customers, to Jeff talking about probing questions and how to really take a deep dive into an account and understand what their true needs are. But how do we distill all that down and actually formulate a process of properly selling to food customers? Well, your marketing team, in conjunction with the product management team as well as sales management, have put together what we call a group facility survey. And this really speaks to what Ken was talking about earlier, where we get into how do we properly team sell and actually get into these sales accounts. By partnering the sales representative with the sales manager, division manager, product manager, and a couple of equipment suppliers, we really get a good basis and formulation foundation of how to sell into a food account. As we know, product knowledge, vendor relationships, customer relationships, as well as artwork, graphics, it all needs to be considered and taken into account, and we need to develop a good, solid knowledge base when we attack these customers. The group facility survey will do just that. And it really ends up being a true value add for you and your customer by having this knowledge base and resources to go to if you have any questions. In the next slide, we're going to understand a little bit more about how this group facility survey has come into play and one of the key successes we've had utilizing this format. So let's look at a success story utilizing the group facility survey. And just to quickly recap, the group facility survey brings in a number of different parties in the entire sales process. The sales representative, the product manager, potentially the division manager or sales manager, a number of equipment and material vendors, and then just for an initial sit-down discussion with the customer. And it's just to identify the needs, what that customer needs, and identify target areas for improvement. It's a facility tour, so you're actually getting in to the customer's business, to their warehouse, identifying areas that maybe you might not have seen in the past. Maybe you're looking at corrugated, stretch film, certain pallets that they use, but maybe you don't see a need for a cartoner or to implement a new pick and pack system. These are all things that our engineered packaging group can do and can optimize solutions for a customer to reduce their overhead, reduce costs, and really improve throughput to make them more money, and in the end to make you more money. Behind me is a success story. It's out of our Southern California region. A couple $100,000 in business, a lot more growth expected. And again, this was by you working with the product manager doing a lot of that back end work with the vendors, identifying what's needed. This is a huge account, and there's a lot more of these out there. This is something that you're probably seeing on a daily basis. I'm sure you're seeing warehouses just like this, but with none of this equipment. It's all out there. Go out and get it. It's just more money in your pocket. You might be asking yourself what this funny chart is behind me. Well, we wanted to do a little bit of research to locate some underserved opportunities within your existing produce and bakery customers. I think we can all make the assumption that customers within the same industry, produce for example, are going to be ordering the same type of packaging products, flexible films, bags. They'll be looking for the same type of structures. So what we found in these charts is actually some pretty interesting information. Mainly, we found that the more categories you sell, the higher your margin percentage is within those accounts. And we believe that that's truly because you're building a relationship in your food customer. I mean, that's, I think, what we've been telling you in the last, few days of training. It's all about selling value and building a relationship within your food customer. So we validated that information, and it's there for you to go grab. So in the next few days, you're going to sit down with your sales manager or division manager. You're going to have these charts prepared for your produce and bakery customers, and you're going to be able to unlock these underserved opportunities. There's a lot of money to get, and we've now validated that the more categories you sell, the more money you make. So go out and get that business.
Hello, Erica.
Thanks, Ray. Hello. Everyone, my name is Erica Hernandez, and I'm the Director of Training and Communications for Amcor Packaging Distribution, and of course, Kent Landsberg. The toolbox is an essential set of media and related links and everything that has to do with what Ray's been talking about and training you on, so that you could have ready-made access to it in the field anytime. I'm going to take you through how easy this toolbox is to get to and access wherever you are. All you need to do is go to our company intranet, and on the left-hand side, click on Distribution. Under Distribution, you'll see a Training Toolbox link. Once you click on the Training Toolbox link, you will see a list of publications and industry information, including website links and various other media to augment the training that you experienced today. Please access it 24/7, whether in the field or at your home office. We will make sure that all information is kept up to date, and if you have any questions as to the content or how to access the site, please contact Amcor Global University at agupd@amcor.com.